What is happening? Got a tractor that won't start. It starts and croaks, basically. So I'm just gonna go through, hopefully do this quick, so to limit my frustration editing with my screwed up computer. So this kind of applies to anything, cars, trucks. You know, if you take away all the electronics that are in modern cars, this is what you got. You know, what we're dealing with here is just basic engine, spark, fuel, compression, and ignition timing. That's it. There's nothing else, no electronics, which I love. So this is a Kohler. Not a big fan of Kohler engines today. I think they should stick making faucets and sinks, but I digress. They used to be a good engine, but these days they've kind of cheaped out, like most brands have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to yank. I've already cranked it over a few times, see what it does. Fires once, dies, and then it won't start again. So the air filter looks perfect. That's a first. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a quick spark, compression, everything check. Because what am I looking for here? Trying to find my brake clean. Here we go. The brake clean is my tool of choice. So if it lights off on this, we know we got compression, we know we got ignition, and what we're missing is fuel if it stays running. So we got you mounted to the Grand Marquis. That came in handy. Let's try that. Okay. Throttle up. Not on choke. There you go. She got sparks, she got compression. So that right there tells me it's a fuel problem, which doesn't surprise me in the least because this is Massachusetts and the fuel sucks here. We're one of the few states where you cannot buy ethanol-free gas at the pump, which is a bunch of, I don't even know how to say this without swearing. It's a bunch of shit, you know. Pisses me off. All you got to do with politics is just follow the money. You know, that's the bottom line. Someone's getting rich off it. Apparently somebody in Mass is getting rich off the ethanol, getting stuck in the fuel. You know, I'm all for supporting farmers, but you're killing us out here, you know. You know how much money this is costing people? You know how many, every year I do hundreds of carb cleans, hundreds, all because of the fuel. It was never like this back in the day. You used to be able to leave gas cans sitting out. You could leave them unsealed, you know, leave the cap loose, and the gas could sit there for weeks. Nothing would happen. But you do that today with today's fuel, if there's any kind of air getting in there, forget it. It'll be junk in a week or less. It's insane. So I'm just going to go ahead and tear this carburetor out of here, and it's got one of these stupid ass electronic solenoids, anti-backfire solenoids right here, as you can see. And you can't get a wrench. You need the really thin wrenches to get in there, and I don't have them. So I'll show you how I take that off. I use needle nose vice grips, basically. Not the best way, but it's all I can do. So our neighbors over in New York, those guys over there, they can get premium gasoline that's ethanol free. I mean, you're paying, of course, premium price, but geez, I'll gladly pay the price and deal with this. You know, you want to be mowing your lawn. Mowing the lawn sucks enough as it is. It takes time out of your day. You got other things to do. Now you got to deal with this crap. People, I hear it all the time. People are fed the frig up with this crap. You know, everybody say, oh, why don't you make a fuel-injected mower? Well, they do. And is that really the answer? Do we want to make everything absolutely complicated, reliant on electronics? I don't think that's the answer, personally. Some of you might, but I wholeheartedly disagree, and I will argue that to my last breath. That's just me, but this is the life we live in Massachusetts, where government knows all. Don't get me started. I don't know if you guys can see up there, there's a hidden bolt right down in here. And I'm extracting. Got the two bolts off the carburetor as I was yapping away there, or ranting. Justified ranting, I have to say. I don't, there's no justification for what the Massachusetts state government's doing to us over here. And it's not even just gasoline too. They do it with, you know, heating oil and diesel. You can't buy, for a regular guy to buy off-road diesel is like pulling teeth. It's like, you know, if you don't have a business, you know, the truck's not going to come to your house and drop off-road diesel. Or, you know, you can do number two. There's ways around it. You can run number two, but you put number two in a modern diesel truck, you're going to cost yourself thousands of dollars in repairs, because the manufacturers seem to be in on the scam as well. They don't want you putting anything but that ultra low sulfur crap in the trucks. So anyways, here we are. What do we got here? Some type of breather. Where does that go? What the hell is that? Oh, it goes into the top of the fuel tank. So that's some type of primitive evap setup. Okay, no fuel shut off, which is, you really should have a fuel shut off on these, and I think I'm going to put one in here for the owner. Let me just see how much space I have to work with here. So it sits like that. Probably put it here before the filter. Can you guys even see? This is kind of a crappy, you know, zoom out. It's kind of a crappy spot. I apologize for the lighting. I know the lighting sucks over here. It's getting washed out from so bright out. Nice summer sunny day, which is beautiful. I'm a happy camper in that regard. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna get my little pinchers here so we can crimp off the fuel line so I don't empty the tank onto the ground here. So what is the answer to life's problems? Less government, for starters, is one of them. Our founders knew that from the beginning, and that's why they designed this country the way they did. That's why they wrote the Constitution the way they did. Gas smells kind of weird. It's not stale, but it's not good either. So it's probably a little bit mixed in there from last year, if I were to guess. Stupid gasket. I like to try to save these gaskets whenever I can. This one's gonna stick and rip. Maybe, possibly. Maybe not. Never reuse these. You really should replace them. Okay, that was freaking a mess. But we're gonna go with that. So, just give this. I'm jumping around here. Let's get this out of here first. It's a choke. Oh, that came out. One fell swoop. Okay. Okay, so I got a little natural lighting here. Okay. It's my Audu jump pack. I fried it to a cinder. So I got into the relay and was forcing the contacts shut. And I actually got it to work a couple times. They're supposed to be sending me another thing, one of these, but it's on back order. Story of my life. Everything's on back order. All right, clear up some room. All right, so now I'll get my needle nose pliers. These aren't the ones that I wanted to grab, but gotta run with what you brung. So kind of a pain in the ass. Barely got it. So better grab it tight. Ah, yeah, knew that was coming. This is stupid. What the hell is the thing for? You know, just keep it from popping. I guess that's pretty annoying when tractors backfire. Lawn tractors. You shut them off. Bang! Because with a carburetor, you're always feeding fuel. As long as that piston's moving, doesn't matter if the ignition's on or off. It's feeding. Alright, this clearly is not working. Okay, so I machined down my vice grips a little bit more. This thing's hot. Here it's sizzling. Boiling gas. It's extremely explosive. It's about as atomized as you can get it when it's boiling. Oh, man. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not even grabbing this thing. This has got to be the... I've never had this much trouble getting one of these off. This is going to be the dumbest design ever. Thanks, Kohler. Nice friggin' work. This is what I call a-hole engineering right here. Why design something like this, really? Do you really have to do this? Make it inaccessible for anybody to work on? You know, I got special tools for everything. At some point, enough is a friggin' enough, you know? Friggin' bleeding us dry every which way. Let's see if I can get just a tip in there. Crank this down nice and tight. That's tight. There we go. Oh, there goes the gas. Whoa! Those things just launched across the shop. You could have seen that. That was pretty cool. Stupid thing. So that's all that does when you turn the key on. Boop, pulls it down. Turn the key off. Boop, blocks the main jet. So yeah, a couple little floaters in there, but it doesn't look like stale fuel. But it doesn't take much, you know. Just probably just a piece of crap in the jet there somewhere. This doesn't even really have a main jet per se. Not a removable. Oh yeah, it does have a removable one. It's in the side. That's kind of odd. So I guess it must need to have fuel. How the hell does that work? So fuel. So when that plunger pulls down, how does that stop the fuel from entering here? I must need that opening. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure out how that works, but I guess it does. We're in here. We got other parts, so I'm going to clean everything. Did they press this stupid thing in here? Hate when they do that, too. Oh, they might not have. Oh, there's the pliers I was looking for earlier. Lineman pliers. Oh, no. It was just really jammed. There we go. So, get that. And we got our little needle. So I'm just going to pull that jet out of there with the flat screwdriver that I had right in front of me 20 seconds ago. Are you friggin' serious? Oh boy. I'd keep the phone in my pocket and count the number of steps I do a day, because if it's like over 10,000, that means I should have got more sleep. That means I'm walking back and forth to the toolbox way too much. Okay, there's a little, wow, that's weird. Okay, so this has a little washer under it. This is a Nicky carburetor. Nicky. So, there's that. And you can see the light clearly through the jet. So, this tells me that more than likely one of these air passageways probably has some crap in it. Let's see if I can get you some lighting here. So, see, there's one next to my thumb deep inside there. It's got a small opening. Then there's a larger one over there opposite, behind the gasket. That's another air passageway. Oh, there's actually two of them over here. See, there's one buried behind the gasket there, right above my thumb. And then there's a second one behind it, deeper in. See? So we're gonna blast all these out with a little bit of brake clean here. So, let's see what we got. And of course, I never wear safety glasses. I always get it in the face. That's probably a little. This is just a vent. See it coming out. I'll clean that out too. Some kind of passageway there. Or not. Nope. Got one there though. Nope, that one's blocked too. Yep, that's blocked. Alright, get my air. Okay. Now since this is clear, I'm gonna clean it anyways because we got it out. Why not? You know, it sucks doing stuff twice. I've learned over the years, you got it apart, whether it's clean or not, clean it anyways. You know, save yourself a lot of headaches. So this is my K&L set. I've shown this on other videos. In case you haven't seen those, this is just a welding tip cleaner kit, basically, that was marketed for motorcycle use. K&L's a motorcycle supplier catalog. I am a certified motorcycle technician, Japanese motorcycles. Uh-oh, the warden's coming. So clean that out. You don't want to go too crazy. I mean, these days, there's no harm in making it a little bit bigger, especially if it hunts. If you got that hunting problem with, you know, up and down RPM. Whee! Wow, that works. That's nice and clear. Okay. Let's not forget our little washer. We'll blow that out in case I got any brass particles. Yeah, so many different carburetor designs on outdoor power equipment. Some have the jet down inside here. Most Japanese dirt bikes, motorcycles, they have them down in there. But this is kind of an oddball. It's off to the side, and I believe that's just to make room for that plunger, that electric plunger that I fought with earlier. You know, it's a fuel cutoff device. Anti-backfire device is basically what it is. So I'm gonna spray this off camera. Also gonna spray this. It's getting dark over here. The natural lighting thing ain't working. So it's a little too bright. So I just sprayed that off. I'm gonna wipe it on my shirt like I usually do. So that's clean. There's my carb. There we go. I'm gonna set that back in there. Make sure that needle gets in there. There we go. Now this, just wiping that pin off. I got gas everywhere, but one end of this is knurled, or not knurled, but slammed, smashed. You know, so it flares out at the end, so it won't go all the way through, which is kind of a good idea. That way you can push it through and then kind of give it a little tap, and it kind of locks it in place. So the bowl has, see, we got a little bit of grit in there. I'm going to blow this out. So there's that. Simple bowl. This one doesn't have any flat spots. Some of them have like a, you know, the flat bottom bowls, they'll have a recess cut out to make room for the float opening, and you want to kind of line that up with the float, but this is simple. This can go on any number of a million different ways. And I'm just going to blow this out too. Might as well. It's out. Why not? And one thing we should do before we put this back together is go over to the machine, just make sure this works, because this could be the problem. Being that carburetor is clean, this very well could be the problem. So if this thing doesn't move when I turn the key on, then bingo. So we'll go ahead and we'll plug this in. So I'll keep my finger behind it so you can kind of see. Oh, it's actually already in. Did I leave the key on? Probably, right? Yep, I left the key on. So that's clearly working. Off, on, off, on, off. Okay, so that's not our problem. Verified.